Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to another random match here on WWE 2K17. Now we've finally finished all of the DLC showcases for the Legends pack, so we're now back into your suggestions, and this one was suggested by Zach Rushing, and it is Samoa Joe versus the Undertaker. Should be an interesting one, this one. One that could very much happen in the future, you never know. With Taker's brief return we have at the moment, and Samoa Joe looking like he's going to get promoted up from NXT any day now onto the main roster. And I'm going to hope that Joe moves up to SmackDown. It really is a possibility this match could happen in the future. Loading screens. The loading screens take a little bit longer because I'm using a custom SmackDown arena. That's the only reason why. And here we go. Wasn't too bad. I managed to speak through most of it. So this will be interesting to see. Two guys who are pretty much probably evenly matched here on this game. I think stats-wise probably Taker's going to be a little bit ahead of Joe, but you can't really tell on this game, can you? It really could go either way. It's crazy, really. It still seems so strange. I know this is the second year now, but it seems so strange to look at a WWE game and see Samoa Joe on it. It just, and I've been through this conversation so many times now, but can you imagine if I would have went back to you sort of 3 or 4 years ago and said to you that in WWE 2K17 you're going to have Samoa Joe, you're going to have AJ Styles, you'll have Shinsuke Nakamura, you'll have Uhaa Nation, or Apollo Crews if you will, you'll have you'll have Austin Aries as downloadable content, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano will be the NXT Tag Team Champions. You would not believe me at all. Roderick Strong made his debut in NXT. You'd be looking at me like I was some sort of crazy lunatic. It's just amazing what has happened in the WWE over the last couple of years. It really is. And I think it's going to be a massive, massive improvement. If you give it sort of another sort of 3 or 4 years when we start to see guys like Joe and Aries and Strong and Nakamura all move up onto the main roster, then we'll obviously have guys like Styles, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, everyone that's already up on the main roster. We're going to have some real top quality matches on the game, actually. I'm looking forward to in real life. I'm looking forward to that, and of course we're probably going to have some pretty damn good. I can't wait for WrestleMania this year coming up, because we've got AJ Styles in the championship picture, we've got Kevin Owens as the champion at the moment, Finn Balor's now on the main roster. I think next WrestleMania is going to be amazing, because it's going to be, well, Owens was there for WrestleMania last year, but I think now that he's in the main event picture, he's going to get a better choice of match. Obviously, it looks like the Undertaker's going to return for that as well. We've got Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. We've got Finn Balor on the main roster. It's going to be Finn's first WrestleMania, and I can just imagine there's going to be more. There really is. We've got all the cruiserweights as well. I'm sure they'll do some sort of like cruiserweight multi-man ladder match or something. I think it's going to be so bloody good. But enough about all that sort of random crap. Let's get into the match here. We've got Undertaker taking an early advantage here over Samoa Joe. So like I said, this match was suggested by Zach Rushing. It was a few weeks back now, Zach, so yours has finally been pulled out of the hat. And of course, if anybody else is out there wanting to get one of their matches here on the channel, then please do drop a comment down below with your suggestion, and I will write it down on my little slips of paper, and then it all gets put in a big hat, and it all is literally luck of the draw of whose matches gets done. So of course, as well, the more you suggest, the more likely your match is going to be recorded as well, so bear that in mind. I do have quite a few out. I've just literally pulled out 7 to sit here and do now, and it's amazing. I pulled out 7, and every single one, oh no, there's one person's going to have 2. No, every single one, sorry, is a completely different person. So over the next week or so, we're going to have a different person every single day. So if this is not your match, which of course it's not unless you're Zach, then keep tuned, because over the next 7 days there's going to be different ones for different people every... Oh, I pulled out 8, not 7. No, I pulled out 7, yeah. Joe now just lining up the grounded Taker. And of course as well, if you do enjoy these random matches, then be sure to go out and check out the Universe mode as well. We're doing currently doing Raw and SmackDown. Then next we're going to do... I was going to do 2 Universe modes at once, but I think what I probably will do is just focus solely on NXT and do all of that. And then after NXT, we'll go and do another Universe. We're basically doing 3-month-long Universes. And then from there, we're basically finishing and starting a new one. I wanted to do that this year because I think it can get a bit boring sometimes when you go too far into one. So by changing over and over again, I think it's much more enjoyable. Well, it is for me anyway. I hope it is for you guys as well. Taking a stomping on the arm of Samoa Joe. Brings him up to a kneeling base and a double axe handle against the back. Yeah, I would say on paper this one should be Undertaker's, but you never know on this game. It really can throw up some big obstacles, can't it? It really throw him different ways. We've seen quite a lot of that in the Universe mode as well, with some really dodgy victories. For example, about 6 weeks ago now, Curtis Axel defeated Braun Strowman on Raw, which is a bit of a strange match. Of course, Braun got his own back with an attack backstage, but still. Undertaker, wow, dropping Joe on his back on the outside. And that matting's only very thin. It's only to take the impact of a drop, but it's still very hard. It's not going to take that much impact. It's only about an inch thick or so. And there's the Undertaker. Oh, just throwing Joe now in that area. Joe's legs actually catching the barricade. Now Joe straight off the ring post as well. Referee's up to an 8 count as Taker throws Joe back into ring and Taker slides back in as well. I'm glad about that because we have had several occasions in the past on random matches where we've had double countouts. I have initially taken a lot of them off, but Taker now locking in. That's not Hell's Gate, is it? No, that was just an armbar. But Joe does manage to slide free. Clubbing Bo over the back of the Taker and into a DDT. And I'll tell you what, I'm quite enjoying this match, Zach. I must admit, it's not one that I would have thought of myself, but the two styles seem to work together very well. Joe now Dragon Taker. I've just got Styles in the mind. When you see Joe, you always think of Styles, don't you? Step up into Guri or Shining Wizard to the kneeling Undertaker. Joe now bringing Taker back up to his feet, sent him into the corner. Joe runs in. Oh, big back splash, and then the boot to the side of the head, the move that knocked Kurt Angle out in TNA about 5-10 years ago now. Literally knocked him unconscious. And a reverse dragon sleeper by Samoa Joe, but Taker's leg was underneath the bottom rope and referee made him break it. But Joe now in firm control of the Undertaker, now launches him across the ring with the alley-oop. How much more this could Undertaker take? Well, evidently that much more. Take a clubbing blow against the back of Samoa Joe now. Again, just overarmed punch. Taker sending Joe into the corner. Big splash, and again. And Taker dropping Joe in the snake eyes. And a running big boot as well. Followed up by the leg drop. Great combination of moves there by the Undertaker. Now bringing Joe back up to his feet. Has him throttled. Taker's just turned it on out of nowhere. Massive chokeslam. And decided not to go for the pin. Interesting decision there by Taker. It may have backfired as Joe fights back. Sending Taker to the ground. Joe stamping on Taker's arm now. Taker's back up and there's a wrench in the arm of Samoa Joe. Now dropping him into a backbreaker. But Joe taking Taker down with that over the top as a collegiate wrestling style move that I believe. I must admit, as a Briton, that's very old-fashioned stay, isn't it? As a British person, I'm not very good with collegiate style wrestling. That's more of an American thing, isn't it? Really? Well, it's Greco-Roman, isn't it? Really, but ooh, a nice Saito suplex there. Now Joe probably should be paying more attention to the Undertaker rather than taunting the crowd in this situation, but he's a very successful wrestler, Joe, so I don't really want to tell him what to do. Taker fighting Joe away, and maybe Joe would have been more wise to, oh. Well, okay then, Joe is, Joe must not be too bad then, as Undertaker's doing the exact same thing. And you can't disrespect anything the Undertaker's done. Undertaker taking Joe up for the last ride. Oh, Joe's neck. Look at the way his head's bent there. Joe's neck caught that top rope. Oh, 1, 2, 2. No, Joe kicked out. Oh, my phone just kicked in. Joe, a big right hand. Sending Taker into the corner. Taker fighting back though, and I can't believe Joe kicked out the last ride. Now Joe going for a combination of suplexes. First the German, then the Dragon. Now locking in the straitjacket. Bridges for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, and again it's only a 2 count. Joe now again reverse Dragon Sleeper. This time he's got Taker middle of the ring. Taker needs to fight his way out of here. Well, he does with a couple of knees to the head. Taker. I can't imagine Joe's going to last much longer here, you know. I really can't. Taker sending Joe to the top of his head. Big knee to the face. Boot to the gut again. And I don't know how much longer the Joe can... Well, I keep saying that much longer Joe can take this. Then he fights back like that, but then Taker gets him back again. And then Joe gets him back again. It's got to that point in the match now where both guys are sort of getting tired and they're making mistakes. Big Uranagi by Samoa Joe. That is a Uranagi, isn't it? I'm sure it is. Joe, big German suplex. Hooks him in for the Dragon suplex. Locks in the arms. And there is the straitjacket German. Bridges for the pin. 2. And Joe's done it. Joe has picked up the victory over the Undertaker. Holy butt nuts, Batman. You can see how excited Joe is. He's vibrating with excitement there. Well, that's a massive win for Samoa Joe. And it just shows that this game, I like the way this game does it. But then again, like I said, the stats-wise, between the two, there wasn't that much of a massive difference. But if that victory was in our universe mode, that would be a massive, massive one for Joe. That's crazy. And of course, remember, talk about a universe mode. Fastlane in a couple of weeks' time, it is Joe versus AJ Styles in the main event for the SmackDown Live World Heavyweight Championships. Be sure to check that one out as well. So once again, before we go, thank you to Zach Rushing for this match suggestion. Of course, anyone else has any other match suggestions, then please do drop them down in the comment section below. Of course, if you have enjoyed this video, then please do hit that like button. It just really help me out. It makes the video easier for other people to find and hopefully it helps grow the channel. That's the reason why. And of course, if you are new around here and you bumped into this video and you have enjoyed it, then please consider hitting that subscribe button as well, because we're doing one of these matches a day, hopefully, up until Christmas at least. So there's a lot of content coming for you. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for coming, and I shall see you all very, very soon for another random match.